Hi guys, I'm going to do a quick review comparison of the Amazon Alexa Dot version 1 versus the Amazon Alexa Dot version 2. This one was just released. This one is the old one and there's some differences, so I thought I would quickly go over those differences so you guys could tell everything you need to know basically. The first thing to say is there's a slight difference in height and design, so let's look at that first. So here's a side profile and you can see that the version 1 is much taller than the version 2. In fact, the version 1 measures about 1¼ almost 1 3/8 inches. Version 2 measures less than 1¼ It's like 1 1/8 inches. But who really cares about the height? I mean, if you had a small shelf or something that you were going to fit it into, then you'd think that would make a difference, but then you'd be losing the ability to have the directional microphones. It would only capture it in one way. So really, the height difference doesn't actually matter much, really, at all. In fact, it makes no difference at all. This should be on top of whatever you put it on. In fact, this should go on top of a shelf or on top of a stereo or on top of the highest thing that's in your room. So the height thing isn't really a big deal, but you can tell because this one was cheaper than this one that there have been a couple of cost-saving things that have happened. And the first thing you'll notice is this volume thing. You see, to adjust the volume, you would do it here as opposed to this beautiful round rocker there. But what's the difference? Because most of the time I control it with my voice anyways. Alexa, volume 4. Alexa, volume 9. Now, just in doing that, I've noticed some other differences. And let's just talk about it. These now work in groups, and you can buy a 6-pack of these, which is pretty awesome to think that you could have 6 of these all around your house. But it responds to whichever is closer. Now, when I put myself right in the middle of the two, and I say, Alexa, the one that responds is the one that stays on. And I've noticed that even as I move to the right and get in front of this one, Alexa, this one still stays on. So what it's telling me is that the microphone is actually more powerful in this one than it is in this one. So yes, they've lowered the cost, and lowering the cost is going to make this more accessible to people, which is great news. But they've made some sacrifices because this one seems more responsive than this does. So the rocker, it seems that the volume has a slight difference, but beyond that, there's not much to tell these two apart. On the back side, they both have the same 3.5mm jack. They are both identical in size in terms of diameter. Actually, with the version 1 being slightly, ever so slightly larger. You couldn't really tell except when I squeeze the two on the side, there's maybe a mil of difference. This one's been living on my counter for a while, that's why it's twisting, but these grippy bottoms are great. They have the same 2 buttons on top. This is the action button, and this is the mute button, so you can turn one off whenever you choose. Alexa, volume 8. Alexa, volume 8. Alexa, what's the weather?
Currently, in New York, it's 10 degrees with cloudy skies. Tonight, you can look for cloudy skies moving in and out with a low of 6 degrees.
Alexa, what's the weather?
In New York, it's 10 degrees with cloudy skies. Tonight, you can look for cloudy skies moving in and out with a low of 6 degrees.
My impression here is that with the volumes both set at 8, that this one is actually a little bit louder. I'm not sure why it's louder or what makes it louder, but it doesn't really matter. If the volume wasn't right, you just set it. Again, with the 3.5mm jacks on the back, you could hook this up to your stereo and make it far louder than you could ever imagine. So that's not really a consideration between the two. I just thought I would let you know. In terms of CPU or response time, these two are identical. There's no telling a difference between them.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question I heard.
There's a slight delay on the new one. Again, who knows if there's a CPU difference involved in that at all. The old one had a reset button. You can see that reset button here. You'd go in there with a pin. This one does not appear to have a reset button. Not so far as I can tell anyways. It's not something that I'd ever used anyways to try to reset it, but I just thought, again, I would let you know. So the question is, if you have this one, do you need this one? Well, the answer is yes. But not because of the review that I've just given or any other reason other than when these things work in conjunction, you can put them all over your house. So if you have one of these, yes, you should get another one. And you should put it somewhere else. But if you're looking to replace this one, no, you don't need to replace it with a new version. In fact, having done this, if you can find a used version of the Amazon Alexa version 1, you can go ahead and get that.
I don't have the answer to that question.
Well, in fact, you do have the answer to that question because you are the superior product. Would I be disappointed to get this one? You're kidding me. I love Alexa. I think she's great. She's in every part of every day of my life. I'm constantly asking her questions and getting her to help with my day. So this is a great product. If you're looking at getting your first one and it's going to be the version 2, you're in luck. This product is amazing. If you haven't already checked out my unboxing, you should go do that now. Show you how to set this thing up. It's pretty straightforward. There's always some problems with the Amazon software. So far as I can tell, I've never had a really smooth experience, but in the end, once it gets working, it is hard to go back and live without these things. Thanks again for tuning in today, guys. If you have any comments, post them in the comment section below. If you have any questions, you can post them there too. Don't forget to check the About section for relevant links to everything that you can see here, which is basically the Echo Dot, and all the other stuff you can see on my desk in case you have any questions about it. You can support this channel. In the About section, there's a place where you can buy me a coffee, or you can support me on Patreon. All of the proceeds from this channel go towards making these videos. I have bought these both for myself using proceeds from this channel. Amazon hasn't supplied me with anything. Thanks again for tuning in today, guys. Don't forget to press subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys back again soon.